Hey guys, welcome back to Recreational Sniper. Today, I thought I would do a little Q&A session here. Just one question that I want to answer, and it just happened to be that it has to do with what I was doing yesterday. So when I went to the range, so my Facebook page at Recreational Sniper, um, a guy sent me a message on there. His name's Jeff Golden. He says, "Hi Grant, I love your videos and sincere thanks for reporting out on your findings. I'd like to know if you had any further opportunity to work with the EC tuner brake on your 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm considering putting one on my Ruger Precision rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor, but I'm concerned that the EC tuner brake, while possibly helping improve groups at distance, will not give me as good of control of recoil as the factory brake, which is excellent for me." He said, "What are your thoughts?" So, first of all, Jeff, I want to thank you for watching my videos and liking them. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. Second of all, I actually was shooting my 6.5 Creedmoor yesterday at the range with the EC tuner brake on it that you can see. Let's see if I can get it to zoom in on that. So that's the EC tuner brake there, and it's a little boogered up. I've had this thing on a couple different rifles, um, but it still functions flawlessly. So my particular rifle is not a Ruger precision rifle. This is actually an AR-10 bolt action upper from Uintah Precision. It has a 26-inch preferred barrel, and the lower is Aero Precision, and the internals are. I've got a Rise armament trigger in it, the iconic two-stage trigger, and then pretty much everything else is standard AR-10 stuff, as it were, because I do have a regular AR-10 upper for this rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. That's a whole other thing I don't want to really get into right now. So, as far as your question goes, as far as how the EC tuner brake works, it definitely works. You can definitely play with it and change the settings on it, and it will manipulate your group sizes downrange. So it works. It can be a little difficult to get it to work just right, and it's not one of those things that if you're shooting a bunch of different kinds of ammunition, one setting is not going to work for all of them. You're going to have to, if you're shooting your target loads or match loads, you're going to find one setting that works for that. And if you're shooting hunting ammunition or varmint ammunition, something like that, you're going to have to play with it and find a different setting for that ammunition. Also, if you watch any of Eric's videos, the guy that designed and built the tuner brake, is that they found that shooting at different altitudes also affects it. So if you are shooting at one range and then go somewhere else and shoot at a different range and your elevation changes by quite a bit, it's likely that your tuner setting is going to have to change as well to bring the rifle back in tune. And then other things as far as barrel wear, like your throat erosion and stuff, you may have to over time manipulate the tuner as your barrel wears in and as the throat erodes, where the right where the bullet's going in, and but that's just part of it. There's constantly moving variables, but the tuner definitely helps, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, it definitely helps as far as being able to really tighten up your groups. Now, as far as your question, as far as recoil management goes, um, it is not a super aggressive brake. It's not like so aggressive that it just gives you tons and tons of blowback. But it actually is really nice for the shooter. So that's one of the things I really like about it is I've got some really aggressive muzzle brakes on some different rifles, and that are directing the gases so far straight back towards the shooter that it's actually, after a while of shooting, becomes very uncomfortable to shoot those rifles. But on this particular one, with this EC tuner brake on here, the way that he designed it is that the rear ports are directly flat out, and then the ports in front of it towards the muzzle are at an angle directing the gases back. So, but he did think, and it's actually a genius idea, to put the last two ports on that brake. These right here, these are just straight parallel, and so the gases that are being directed backwards from the front brake, from the front ports, are actually being shielded away from the shooter. So it makes it a very, very comfortable brake to shoot for the shooter. And you can sit there and shoot this gun all day long, and you don't get fatigued out from the amount of muzzle blast hitting you. So it's really, really nice. Now, other thing too, we noticed yesterday shooting, is if you're shooting directly beside it, like if you got another guy shooting on the bench next to you, is that it is extremely uncomfortable for them because you are blasting them with the muzzle blast off of your rifle. Um, Now, what I've experienced with the recoil management on this rifle, and it may be different for yours, but I would imagine that this rifle and a Ruger precision rifle are likely going to be about the same weight. They're about going to be about the same size and weight. Maybe half a pound difference, heavier, lighter. Don't really know because I've never handled a RPR, but like I said, I would think that they would be about the same. What I have noticed is if my bipod is planted in like on the ground in dirt, um, and I'm shooting prone, and I'm directly lined up behind the rifle and stuff, and I shoot, it doesn't pull off. As long as I'm straight behind it and everything, I've got a really good shooting position. On that rifle, it doesn't pull off left or right. It does have a tiny bit of vertical jump, and maybe that could be due to the type of bipod that I'm using. Uh, Obviously, it's kind of a lighter weight bipod, as you can tell from looking at it. It's just a cheap Caldwell XLA bipod. They're like $60 or something. I do like them a lot though, and I actually shoot the same bipod on my big 6.5 PRC that weighs 24 pounds, and it shoots perfect on that bipod. But this gun is a little bit lighter than that. I want to say this gun's probably about 12 pounds, give or take, and about maybe 12, 13 pounds, give or take. And it does bounce a little bit vertically. Now, shooting it off of a bench where you've got your rifle on the table and it's kind of off center to you, I have noticed that it does pull off just a hair to the right when you shoot, and you got to kind of every time you shoot, you got to get it back on line with the target. But as far as felt recoil goes, it's really minimal. You know, if you watch a video, which I didn't actually video shooting yesterday, I wanted to, but the range was just a little bit busy, and I didn't want to, you know, intrude on anybody else out there having fun and shooting their guns. So we didn't film. Uh, but it does recoil a little bit back. I want to say it probably comes back about a half inch, and then it might jump over about a half inch under recoil, shooting off the bench. Now, that's a different thing. Here at this channel, we typically don't shoot off of benches. I do every once in a while if I'm being lazy and I don't want to lay on the ground and get my shooting mat out and all that stuff and set up everything on the ground. I will just shoot off a bench. For testing purposes, like yesterday when I was just out there just gathering some data to build a new drop chart, I was just gathering basically velocities. I just go out and shoot so many rounds, record all the velocities, get me an average velocity for that particular bullet that I'm using and stuff, and then from there I can go into JBM Ballistics and punch in all the data, the temperature range, the temperature of the ammunition, everything like that, and then I can build a good drop chart from there that I can later print off, and then I've got a hard copy of it I can take with me. It doesn't need batteries and that sort of thing. But again, that's really kind of a little bit off topic, but the brake, in my opinion, is very good. The only reason why I don't have more of them are one, they're kind of expensive, and two, uh, like on my 6.5 PRC, I've often thought about putting one of these brakes on there, but that rifle shoots so good as it's set up as I got it that I really don't want to mess with it. I don't want to, screw anything up. I just want to leave it alone, let it shoot the way it shoots. It's perfect. Um, and I've got a little short barrel 308 that I've thought about putting one on, but I'm kind of on the fence because it's a 16-inch barrel and it's like a medium Palma contour, so it's a pretty heavy barrel, and I just don't know that it's really going to help that much on such a short, stiff barrel. Like a longer barrel like this that's not as heavy, it definitely will help. And I think that's where the tuner brake really comes into play is on the longer, skinnier barrels. I really think that tuner brake on on like a hunting barrel, on a hunting rifle that's designed to be lightweight. I really think the tuner could really show some big improvements on that. If you get really stiff, heavy barrels and shorter barrels, they become a lot stronger and a lot stiffer, and the vibrations that are there are not affecting it as much. It's really these longer, thinner barrels that have most of the whip and barrel harmonic issues. So, anyways, Jeff, I hope this answers your question, and I hope you guys hope you keep watching my videos and liking them. And I really wanted to take this rifle out and actually film shooting it because I haven't done it in a while, and I will be taking this rifle out the next time when we go shoot on the pipeline, and we're gonna see. We're we're definitely gonna take it to the 944 yard area, but I'm really wanting to stretch this rifle out to a mile because I'm pretty confident that I can get it to a mile, especially with the ammunition that I was testing yesterday and the results I was getting. This thing ought to hammer some rounds out there at really really long range. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time in the next video.